So, Ravens flock, we are still in the midst of an endless cycle, an endless loop, an endless. We are living in Groundhog's Day, essentially. If you ever seen that movie, we're stuck in the same scenario where we lose a game in the same exact way. That makes us scratch our head and say, "How does this happen?" So we had two separate 15-point leads in this game to start the season, in the season opener in Buffalo. Two separate 15-point leads, and we blew both of them. Now, I've been saying since last year that this defense is highly overrated. And even though there are many people who have agreed with me, there's also been many people who will say silly things like, "Hey, you don't know ball. They're just fine." Zach Orr really got into a groove towards the end of the season. But anybody with common sense can see that last year, towards the end of the season, when our defense started to perform better on paper, that was during the weakest part of our schedule. Whenever we played during the early part of the year when we played good teams, our defense was a non-factor. I had high hopes for Zach Orr this year. I still do. You could turn it around, but this game looked like the start of the same exact problem where we faced a good team, and Zach Orr and his defense, they have no answers. Guys, we have at least 4 players on this defense making $100 million. And when we need these guys, none of these guys matter. None of these guys matter. When we needed a stop, what happened? Roquan Smith's slow ass gave up a 52-yard play to James Cook. When we needed a stop, nobody could do it. This pass rush was non-existent, unfortunately. And that's sad to see. We only got 1 sack. Madubuike got a sack at some point in the game. But overall, this team still has these same exact problems, which sucks, of course, because there were many opportunities to make something happen and create turnovers. And like always, the Ravens, they can't create these turnovers in these moments. Early in the game, Malachi Starks has a chance at a pick. He doesn't bring it in. Later in the game, Chidobe Awuzie has his hands wrapped around the ball, still doesn't bring it in time, ends up not counting as a pick. We're leaving turnover opportunities on the board. We're not getting any pressure. Josh Allen really had all day back there to throw the ball. Nobody could really do anything. And it's extremely sad to see because, again, we put up 40 points. And despite putting up 40 points, I know without a shadow of a doubt, many people are still going to say that this was Derrick Henry's fault because he fumbled. Now, again, yes, Derrick Henry did fumble, and that dramatically changed the momentum in the game because once Derrick in the past 5 years has only fumbled twice, unfortunately. Once last year and then, this game to start this year. But overall, Derrick had an amazing game. He put up 169 yards, 2 touchdowns. But again, even with Derrick having that fumble, where is this defense to pick up the slack in these moments? This is the same thing I was saying, and many Ravens fans have been saying, even in the playoffs, where people rush to blame people on the offense like a Lamar, or in this game, like a Derrick Henry. But then everybody will conveniently try to give a pass to this defense. In what world should we score 40 points and still lose the game? It doesn't matter if Derrick Henry gave up a fumble. If we have a 15-point lead on 2 separate occasions in this game, two 15-point leads in the second half, and yet we're sitting here with a loss. because this defense can't stop anybody. That sounds to me like a Zach Orr problem. I still want to hold out hope that Zach Orr can figure it out, but ultimately, it's not looking good right now. You can make an argument that Zach Orr has more help, has more talent at his disposal than what Mike McDonald had, and yet he's still so far he's looking just as bad as we looked last year. With all this talent, we're not getting stops. Nobody can make anything happen. Like this is ridiculous. The O line, it looked hit or miss at certain times in the game. Specifically, the play where Derrick Henry gave up the fumble. The O line got dominated in that moment. It is what it is. I haven't gone back to watch the replay yet. So, but just from watching the game itself, our O line at many moments did look good. Like, for example, that Zay Flowers touchdown early in the game, Ronnie Stanley and Tyler Linderbaum, they made some exceptional block. They made some amazing blocks. But again, we gave up a lot of pressure. And it's incredible to me. In these moments, we play these teams and we watch these teams, despite the fact that we have all these big names, none of these big names actually matter. And it's a shame because when many Ravens fans say Lamar's MVP, a lot of casuals will try to dismiss that by saying, well, he should not be because he has all this help. But yet games like this happen, and none of these people have the common sense to realize that the guys that you think qualify as all this help are really just big name players who actually don't make big plays. Again, we have 4 players on defense. Wait, was it 4? It's Marlon, Matabike, Kyle, Roquan. Yes, 4 players making $100 million. And when we need them most, we can't rely on them. And Kyle Hamilton overall was having a solid game, especially in the first half. He got banged up at some point, and after that, he kind of was MIA for the most part. It's hard to even focus on what went well in this game, right? Like, Zay Flowers balled out. He had a career game, like 143 yards. That's a career high for him. DeAndre Hopkins, he made an amazing one-handed catch that was easily the best play of the game. Tyler Loop, I don't know how to feel about his debut because he made some long field goals, which was nice to see, but the one field goal that he missed was the field goal that essentially decided the game, because that extra point was the difference between the game being tied at 41 and the game being lost 41-40. So it's unfortunate because what I kept saying all offseason is I just want Tyler to be league average. And if he's league average, we should be fine. But the problem is, in order to be league average, you can't miss extra points. Like, you just simply cannot miss that. It's really not a whole lot to... Well, there's a lot to say, because even towards the end of the game, John Harbaugh decided to not go for it on 4th and 3, which is a very conservative decision to make, which I don't understand, because at that point in the game, they already have all the momentum. You already have struggled the entire second half to stop their offense. It's not going to kill you in that moment to just say, you know what, fuck it, let's just go for it. We're going to just go for it on 4th and 3, and if we don't get it, so be it. But they didn't want to do that. They played it safe and put our fate in the hand by punting it back to the Bills offense that was on fire at this point. They put the fate of our game. They put it all in the hands of a defense that hasn't been able to stop them all game long. There's really not much else to take from a situation like this. It is still early in the season, but this was supposed to be a very easy game to win. We were up double digit double digits at least 2, if not 3 different points in this game. Like, we should have been running the air out of the ball. But by the time the game's over, the Bills had 77 plays. That should not have been possible. We should have maintained enough dominance to where they at best should have only had about 50 plays. There's no way we should have gave up that much time of possession to a team that we, for most of the game, were dominating offensively. We gave up 22 points in the fourth quarter. Do you guys understand just how embarrassing that is? 22 points in the fourth quarter. And we're supposed to act like this is acceptable? Like, this is legitimately embarrassing. 22 points in the fourth quarter. Mind you, we had a 15-point lead. We were going into the fourth quarter with a 15-point lead. And this defense couldn't hold a 15-point lead.